Hey guys, welcome back to What If Deku Had the 7 Deadly Sins Power Part 4. Let's jump right into it. Suyu and Mineta were shocked by Deku's power. They were very shocked. They asked what was that, and he said, that was my secret treasure release. I can release the full power of myself if I say that. And they were shocked by this. So they thought that he could do that with all of them. But like I said, it takes a lot of energy from me, so I can't always use it. So they were like, oh. So they knew that was very okay. It would be too OP if he didn't drain much power from him. So basically they went over to the water area and then they saw something very bad. They saw Aizawa's arm decaying from this guy with a hand over his face. Aizawa stepped back. Aizawa was very much hurt because he couldn't keep up with his quirk. Deku noticed this and he was thinking what he can do, because he knew that Aizawa was going to get even more hurt. But then he reminded him, and he remembered that the Spirit Chestful can turn into a shield against anything. So then he started. He was going to start saying it, but then Anomu was behind Aizawa. Then Deku shouted out to Aizawa, "Behind you!" Aizawa turned around, but before that, the Anomu slammed his face into the ground, and blood was pouring out. Shigaraki saw them and was started laughing. "So your students are here. I'm going to kill them." Deku snapped his fingers. Then he said, Spirit Chestful, second configuration, Guardian! The Guardian was going to punch Shigaraki until the Nomu, who blocked the punch. And then he snapped his he snapped his fingers again, and then a shield popped around Aizawa. Shigaraki noticed this and was like, "What?" And he said, Spirit Chestful, 6th configuration, and shield. And he was healing up Aizawa to full max. Aizawa felt this, and it felt like honey. It felt like so good. But then everything was, all of his injuries were healed, even the decayed hand. Shigaraki was getting mad. So then he told Nomu to go after that boy. Then Deku snapped his fingers and said, Sacred Treasure Release, True Spirit Chestful, 2nd configuration, Guardian. Then a bear punched the Nomu right in the face, sending him flying backwards. Then a bear showed up, even stronger than before. Mineta and Sue saw this and was very surprised. He told Sue, Mineta, go and get Aizawa, go to the entrance and get out of here. I'm gonna try and handle this. But then Merlin said, Merlin said, it's almost high noon. And Deku thought, why did you say that? Then Escanor was like, that thing is way too powerful right now. I feel like the Spirit Chestful won't last that long, Escanor replied. And he was like, if you get rid of that top bit up there, the sun will shine down, and I'll hand over my power that you can use the sun after 3 minutes after the high noon. As soon as it hits high noon, you have 3 minutes of my power to destroy everything, to destroy that monster. You better be set. So then Deku was like, alright. Then he snapped his fingers and said, True Spirit Chestful, 1st configuration, True Spirit. And then Shigaraki thought that he was going to throw it at the Nomu, but instead he threw it upwards, sending a spear right through it, opening at the sky. Shigaraki thought that he went delusional and thought his hair was in the wrong direction, but then it hit high noon. Then Deku said, "It's pitiful." Then he started to grow. The the UA gym clothes was ripped apart, and he was like, "It's a shame that you came here only to sacrifice your lives to me." Then Shigaraki said, "You're very arrogant for a little boy." Hey, wait a minute. You're not human, are you? You're growing and it's getting very hot. So you're not human. And he was like, "I am human, but I am the one that stands above all. My name is Izuku Midoriya. And I am the one who will defeat every villain." Shigaraki was surprised. But then, with Deku's remarkable speed, grabbed Mineta and Sue, and even Aizawa, and brought him to 13. Everyone was surprised how he got there so fast. But then he said this: "Obey my cries." I said, "Obey my commands. Sacred Divine Axe Rita." Then everyone was like, "Why did he have his hand out like that?" And someone came. Then he grew. Then an axe came right into Deku's hands, and he instantly grabbed it. Then the Normu got up. Deku was right in front of the Normu. The Normu was going to punch Deku until Deku sliced off his hand, and instantly everyone was shocked. They were very shocked. Even Shigaraki was shocked. He was like, "That Normu is as strong as All Might. How did he cut his hand so easily?" But then Shigaraki was smiling and said, That was pitiful. The Normu has super regeneration and shock absorption, so basically you won't be able to defeat him so easily." But then Dick was like, "Huh, so this won't be a bore, or I was gonna hold back, so then I'm allowed to have some fun with this. I guess I don't have to hold back." Then Shigaraki was like, "You cocky bastard. You think you're so powerful?" And Deku was like, "I am the most powerful here. If I wasn't, it would have been a real trouble. But I'm the strongest, and you can't do anything about that." Norman punched Deku in the face. And Deku was like, "Is that the best that you can do? I'm very disappointed of somebody who's stronger than Norman." Then he punched Norman right in the face, sending him flying backwards. Shigaraki was getting even more mad. Meanwhile, where the Ten Commandments were, suddenly the Ten Commandments felt a strong, powerful power aura emanating in Zeldris. It was like that power. Since it's so powerful, how is these humans are not? Something's up. Then Gullen, the commandment of truth, was like, "I'm bored of sitting around. I'm gonna go over there and take that thing out and gobble up its soul." Zeldris didn't even care. So then Gullen took off. Then, back at the battlefield, the normal kept on punching Deku, and he was not fazed by this. But then he noticed that he only has a few minutes left. He only has like 10 minutes left of the transformation. So then he jumped up and said, "Sacred treasure release!" Then suddenly a figure looks like the sun. Then he was like, "It's time to end this. It was very fun." Then he formed a mini sun. The heat was burning enormous, and even Shigaraki was like, "This heat, it's so warm. It feels like I'm burning alive." Then he said, "Kurogiri, let's get out of here." Then they left. Then Deku threw the sun then jumped up and threw the sun at the ground and said, "Cruel sun." And then he said, "Followed by pride flare." And it made a huge explosion. And then, when he looked down, the Nomu was only just ashes. And he was like, "That was way too easy. then Deku, look, Finn was like, alright, I'm going to see if I can get everyone out of here. He went to every single place and got every single student and take down any villains. Then he pushed down the door, and All Might was right outside there. And All Might was like, oh, who are you? And then Deku, who put down the secret Shrita thing, grew down to his normal size. He was like, oh, it's you, young Midoriya. It seems like you got even more powerful than before. All Might said. He was like, thanks, All Might. Then everyone was wondering. Then they saw Deku, but then a powerful bash came down right behind, and All Might. Then when the smoke cleared and showed who it was, Deku, who got frozen by the fall of it. It was Gullen, one of the 10 Commandments, and was like, it seems like that strong presence from here faded. I guess I can get rid of you humans. He grabbed his thing and was about to swing at them until Deku grabbed Lost Vein, and then he hit Lost Vein against Gullen's weapon, stopping the shockwave they were in the stats. And he was like, oh, so you're the one who was the marionette, huh? And he looked at the sacred treasure, and he noticed that it had a dragon thing on it. He noticed it's from back then that it was that when he killed old Meliodas, he noticed that it looked like it. When Meliodas used, then he was like, so you are Meliodas. Everyone was thinking, Meliodas? Who's that? And then he rocked Gullen's weapon back, and he punched Gullen right in the stomach. Gullen felt hurt by it, sending him back right at the bus, destroying, breaking the bus. Cops came to arrest the villains until they saw Gullen. Gullen was like, so you're a little bit stronger than before. Then Deku was not faced by this. He couldn't tell anyone about the 7 deadly sins. He was like, I don't know who you are, but you better get out of here before I kill you. And then everyone was wondering what that was. He's like, so are you one of the? So are you? So are you one of the? Do you know about the 7 deadly sins? He had the commandment of truth in place. Deku couldn't lie now. He was like, yeah, what was that to you? Then everyone was like, 7 deadly sins. Why did Deku say? So Deku knows these 7 deadly sin people? Gullen was about to say something else until Meliodas has caught him so many times that Gullen didn't even see it. He was flying out blood. He was like, what the hell? Then Deku was about to stab him until Gullen stabbed him. Was about to stab him until Gullen stabbed him. Then pulled it out, and he was like, I win. Then suddenly his head got cut off from behind. It was not, but then Gullen was like, then Gullen died right there. And then he said something quiet. Meliodas said something in his head, but Deku couldn't hear. Obviously, Meliodas didn't want anyone else to get the commandment, so the commandment could be sugar. Deku was wondering what it was. But he took out Gullen, one of the 10 commandments. And obviously Merlin can obviously use absolute cancel on his abilities, so he couldn't regenerate. And obviously Deku didn't want anything else left, so he turned his Truth Fierce Chastel into Sunflower and blasted it incinerated it into nothingness, just in case. Then Zeldris has noticed that Galen's power was vanished. And I was like, so what I saw that day was real. It must be the 7 deadly sins. Then Droll was like, he must be stronger then, because he took out Galen without much effort. Then so I was just like, yes, but he's not that strong. We must kill him before he knows any more about his powers. But obviously, they didn't know where he was. Obviously, they know where he was, but he obviously know where he was because of the power of spite, but he was vanished. So they didn't know. So then they just, so they didn't bother going after him now. Because if they all ganged up on him, he can probably the 7 deadly sins will come out of him and try and defend him. But obviously they didn't know about the 7 deadly sins can't leave Deku, or Deku might die in the process of it. So then they got took into question. Deku said everything, but obviously he got scolded for what he did because he has no quirk license or a heal license. So then they put it on All Might, Aizawa, and 13. They got the rewards for the defeating the whole entire League of Villains and Nomu. And then Deku talks about the Nomu having multiple quirks: shock absorption, regeneration, and told them all about it in a meeting with All Might's best friend. He was thinking that it might be him, all for one. But obviously All Might thought, Deku might be good for this. Because he's very strong. He might be able to help me defeat All for One for good. So then they had a few days off of UA, and Deku trained with Gunter's secret treasure, so then he's allowed to use that. Obviously he couldn't train with Escanor yet. He only got the high noon thing, because obviously he knew if he got any more of it, it might hurt Deku even more because then the Ten Commandments can easily send him if he keeps on getting stronger at the day. So he decided to get Gunter's special ability up. He learned a few tricks from them: relight light, and even evade people's minds, or even make illusions, and nightmare teller, to try to trick his opponents of surrendering, and so he can stop it. Then they went back to school, and obviously Aizawa said, we're going to be doing a sports festival, and everyone's like, right after the villain attack. And Aizawa was like, yes, after that display, hey, that'll be the best option for you guys to get into your work studies and also work on your quirks and also get noticed by pro heroes. Obviously Deku was then, and Deku was like so all the UA students are gonna be in this. Hopefully there's somebody who can face off against us. And obviously Escanor was like, nobody can face you. There's only one person that can actually hurt you, and that's only Meliodas. And I was thinking, Meliodas? Why Meliodas of all people? I thought the 10 Commandments. We were going to say the 10 Commandments. And he said, then Meliodas said, hey, I have something to tell you. I used to be a demon. In my past, as I am a demon, and back then, I used to rule over the 10 Commandments. I was the leader. Everyone, they were scared by me. I was going to be the next Demon King until I fell in love with this archangel called Elizabeth. She was pretty. I fell in love with her, and she fell in love with me. But then the Demon King, but then I didn't want I abandoned my place as the leader of the Ten Commandments. And then the war broke out against the demon race and the angel race. My dad cursed me with immortality. And also cursed me with immortality. And I'll lose my emotions every time when I die. And cursed Elizabeth with infinite reincarnation. Infinite reincarnations. And said if she ever got her memory back, she'll die in 3 days, right in front of my eyes. There were 107 Elizabeths until the one we served the day. Until I died that day against Galen that day. I never got my powers. I never got my full powers back. But if I did, Galen would have died that day. Yeah. So then they started talking, and then the day of the sports festival came. Then all of the UA students came out the door, and I was like, "We heard that you were taking on villains, and so we're here to say that we're gonna beat you guys." Bucko was like, "Get out of my way, I'll blow your whole ass up. But you're not strong enough to handle me." Then Deku, obviously was turning to High Noon, and obviously Kirishima came up to Bakugo and was like, Deku and was like, "Hey Deku, why are you wearing those glasses? You never wore those glasses until now." He was like, oh, it's nothing." Then Kirishima was like, "Come on, take them off." Then Deku grabbed Kirishima's hand before he could touch the glasses and was like, "Don't take them off." But then Kirishima, with his hand, grabbed them off very quickly. Then Deku started to grow in class. All the students noticed, even Bakugo noticed, that he was really an alpha. He was like, "None of you can beat me. I am the strongest out of everyone. I'm even stronger than All Might, stronger than anyone. I will be the best hero." Everyone was getting mad at him, saying, "What a cocky bastard! Are you really that cocky that you think you're gonna win this?" And he was like, "Yes, I'm gonna win this no matter what." Then Kirishima threw this to Uraraka because he couldn't reach Deku. Uraraka made herself fall and put the glasses on Deku, and he started to shrink, and it was like, "Kirishima, I told you not to take them off." He was like, "What was that?" And he said, "If someone hits High Noon, after 30 minutes, I have that form. But after 30 minutes, I started to go back to normal." And everyone was shouting at Deku. Deku was shocked. And then, obviously, his clothes were ripped off because of the transformation. He was like, "What am I supposed to do now? My clothes are ripped off. My clothes are all ripped." And that's where I'm going to leave it off right there. The next episode is going to be the sports festival. And we're going to see who has the honor of speaking up. Is it going to be one of the UA students? Is it going to be Deku? Or is it going to be somebody else? We don't know. Tune in next time. I'm on What If Deku, the 7 Deadly Sins Power. Chiropractic Gaming, signing out.